Hello, my 7 subscribers to the Couch Potato Cinema Club. So, just like to say thank you. Everyone's going to start somewhere. 7, I'm appreciative of 7. I'm hoping by the time this video goes out, we can at least get to 10. I think I said it yesterday, production values will get better eventually. But at the same time, I think to myself, I've got a love of cinema. Why do I need all this fancy green screen and crap around me? And yeah, I appreciate it's probably part of the package, but anyway, that's for another time. So, Superman Returns, 2006. I remember going to see it at the pictures. I remember coming out of the pictures after seeing it, and I was like, absolutely, just loved it. I loved it. Now, at the same time, I can understand why a lot of people don't like it, because to them, we'd got a new Superman in Brandon Routh, but obviously Christopher Reeve passed away, and he would have been a bit too old 19 years later, and let's just say Superman didn't leave the cinema in the greatest of glory back in 87 when they made Superman 4. I mean, I went to see it when I was a kid, and I remember thinking, this is Superman. This is Superman. Why is this cinema empty? This is Superman. And I didn't watch Superman 4 then for at least, it'd got to have been a good 18 years. And then I watched Superman 4 again, and I realised why the cinema was empty. Because watching it again, the story is cut, it's choppy, it makes no sense. You've got Lacey flying in space amongst other things. The special effects. Yeah, they're not the greatest, are they? And I understood. But I also like Superman 4. I love Superman 4, to be fair. It is a guilty pleasure for me. But the thing with Superman 4 is the intent. I can see the intent. I can see what they were planning. I can see where they wanted to go. And then, unfortunately, because it was under Canon and Golden and Globus, and the budget got slashed, it unfortunately became what was 134 minutes, possibly. I think it was 134 minutes. It became a 89-minute film, and not a very good one at that. And when they unearthed the deleted scenes, didn't make it that much better. But I still like it. I still prefer it over Superman 3. So that was in 1987. Fast forward to 2006, and you've got Superman Returns. You've got Bryan Singer directing, and obviously Bryan Singer, Bohemian Rhapsody, as we're known for now, X-Men, X-Men 2, Usual Suspects, Act Pupil. So it was in capable hands. And me personally, I'm biased, but I love Superman Returns. I do. I knew it was. I was well aware going in that we were going to see like a homage to Richard Donner's Superman, and I got that. But I loved it. Any complaint about it would say, probably not enough action for a Superman film, and I get why some people didn't like it. But Brandon Routh as Superman, he just absolutely nailed it. He really did. He nailed Clark Kent. He nailed Superman. He was and should have been the Superman for the new generation. And unfortunately, as we all know, or maybe don't, depending on what kind of a fan you are, Superman Returns didn't make the projected profit that they wanted. It wasn't a failure by any means, but I believe it was 300 budget and it made 558 million, something like that. So it wasn't the it wasn't the most successful of films that year. Also, it had a lot of competition because in 2006, just two films that stand out to my mind. We had the second Pirates of the Caribbean film, which I went to see with a friend at the cinema, and I've got to be honest, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it. I couldn't wait for it to end. And later on that year in November, we had the release of Casino Royale, um, Daniel Craig's first Bond film. Um, there was a few heavy hitters that summer, I do remember. Um, the negatives of Superman Returns. The negatives. Okay, not enough action. And I get that, and I totally understand that. I mean, compared to Man of Steel or Batman versus Superman, um, I was actually devastated when when I came out of the cinema and I saw Batman versus Superman. I was absolutely devastated. I couldn't believe how bad it was. I felt like I'd wasted 3 hours, and I felt like well, if you know the end, you do. But I felt like Zack Snyder he'd absolutely killed the character for me. And then I remember about a year later watching the unrated version of Batman vs Superman with the half an hour of extra footage, and it made so much more sense. And again, I've got a new appreciation for that. Not everyone's cup of tea, I get it, but I think the unedited, the unrated version of Batman vs Superman is a lot better than the cinematic release. I think those 30 minutes count and they matter and they help with the story and the pacing, and I still don't like the end. But it led on to Justice League, and anyway, there for another time. But Superman Returns, Brandon Routh he should have done more than one Superman film, and it was an absolute disgrace that he didn't. And the fact that Bryan Singer tried to blame him for its failure, and I'm sorry, pal. At the end of the day, as much as I love Superman Returns, it is in parts too much of a love story to the original Superman film that Richard Donner made. There was nothing wrong with Brandon Routh as Superman or Clark Kent. There was nothing wrong whatsoever. He deserved another crack at that role. Um, Unfortunately, it will always be a cinematic crime that he never got another crack. It's sort of like George Lazenby. Again, not everyone's cup of tea, but I love George Lazenby as Bond. I understand why people didn't, and I can respect that. But I think George Lazenby should have done more Bond films. But obviously, we all know the story behind that with his agent, and he didn't. And I think through no fault of his own, Brandon Routh got the flack for Superman Returns not being the success it was, and that was wrong. Um, Superman Returns is slightly overlong. I think it could have definitely have been 20 minutes shorter. Cast wise, I thought Frank Langella was a brilliant Perry White. I enjoyed Sam Huntington as Jimmy Olsen. Kevin Spacey made a really good Lex Luthor. Parker Posey as oh god, I forgot a character name. No, Catherine. Um, Kate Bosworth as Lois Lane, and I know she got a lot of flack as well. I thought she was fine. I really did. I mean, she wasn't Margot Kidder's Lois Lane, or she wasn't, Erica Durance's Lois Lane from Smallville, but the scene where she's up on the roof and she says to Superman, the world doesn't need a saviour because she writes a story while the world doesn't need Superman, and she turns around to Superman and she says, "The world doesn't need a saviour, and neither do I." I actually think that one scene, is the best scene in the entire film. I really do. Um, Emotion and the way it's shot and the music, and yeah, can we please talk about that score from John Ottman? Like, I own the score to that film, and it's one of the scores I tend to go back to when I'm listening to anything Superman related. That score is perfection. There's not one bad, literally, track on that CD from that score. Honestly, if you've not listened to the score, please do. It's going to be hard to find because I think it's out of print, so you might have to look on eBay or Amazon. But the score to Superman Returns is absolutely phenomenal. It really is. And going back to that scene with Lois and Superman on the roof, the music, the title of the track on the album is called "How Could You Leave Us?" Wow, it literally, when he takes her up and says to her, "You wrote that the world doesn't need a saviour, but every day I hear people crying for one." And then he apologises for leaving her and takes her back. The music, the piano, the score. Oh, I can't say enough good things about it. I really can't. The score is fantastic. I thought Brandon Routh was fantastic. Yes, I thought it was 20 minutes too long. I really did. I think it could have been, a bit more tighter than it was. But I really think it was an absolute miscarriage of justice that Brandon Routh didn't get to do another Superman film. I really do. He should have been allowed to have played the character again. And if you've not seen Superman Returns, and I'm sorry if I've given you spoilers, I'll put a spoiler alert at the start of this video. Give it a watch. It's not action packed. It's 2 hours and 34 minutes. It's not 2.5 hours of pure action. It's a love story. It's a story about loss. It's a story about redemption. It's how Superman fits into the world 5 years after he left it. It's, there's many different sort of topics that it covers in the film. I've got one more complaint, actually. I do have one more. Lex Luthor land. We saw it in Superman 1. We saw it in Superman 2 when he wanted to take over Australia and then Cuba. I think they could have found something better for Lex to do. Although when they kick the crap out of Superman in his fortress, and Lex stabs him with the kryptonite, that was a hard watch. Like, to see Superman become mortal and take a beating like he does, it's not something you ever saw before. If Superman got punched, he got punched by a villain that had equally the same powers, and Superman was, he's hit with the kryptonite, he lands on the island and it's all kryptonite and he doesn't realise, he's then stabbed in the back with it, and he essentially becomes a human. He gets the crap beaten out of him. I just think they, maybe, in future we could stick away from Lex Luthor wanting land. Just get a bit repetitive, that. But anyway, Superman Returns. If I had to give it a rating out of 10, for me it's an 8. for me, it's a definite 8. The story, the story is great apart from, the rehash of Lex and Land. The score is absolutely fantastic. I think everyone was perfectly cast. There was no one that shouldn't have been in the cast that looked out of place. Brandon Routh as Superman and Clark Kent was absolutely phenomenal. He deserved more credit than he got, and over the years, from like the DC Universe and Superman fans, he's got that credit. I mean, he was finally able to return to the role of Superman in DC Crisis Infinity. I don't know if any of you have seen that, but that's well worth a view. It is sadly one of cinema's miscarriages of justice that he didn't get to play him again, like I said. But I would say go out, get on Amazon, get on Netflix. I don't know if it's on them, but get a copy of Superman Returns, give it a watch. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Obviously, this is only my third video. I may have rambled. I'll get better as I go along. Rome wasn't built in a day. But I love films, and sometimes I do ramble, and I'm not going to apologise for that. Anyway, you wonderful people, thank you for your time. I'm going to go and get a drink of water because it's pretty damn warm here, 29 degrees. And thank you for watching. I'll speak to you soon. Have a good day and goodbye.